Welcome to this next section of the introductory phase of this IT System Administrator job training course, where we will be taking a higher level look from an expanded point of view. What are some of the key things that we hope to achieve by learning this course? Now, as an IT System Administrator, there are some high level tasks that you need to be completing so that the architecture or the setup of the whole organization from an IT department point of view will be fulfilled. The IT department is a department that provides the necessary IT tools and equipment and resources to members of staff within an organization so that they can be able to fulfill their needs. So, as a system administrator, you are the architectural point of view where you would make sure that all these things are checked and are in place. So some of the things that we would be exploring all of these neck to neck is you learn how to install and configure a Windows Server. So as an IT system administrator, you need to know how to install a Windows Server and how to do a basic configuration of the server so that it can be used for various IT services like printing, network share, Active Directory, syncing, a whole lot of other services. You need to learn how to set up and manage Active Directory itself. Now, most of the companies that you might get a job with, Active Directory would already be set up, so you just need to know how to manage it. But you need to know how it's been set up in the first place, so you can go about managing it. You need to understand what group policy is, how it's set up, how it's managed, and how policies are applied to different groups or different organizational units. We'll be exploring that in a few minutes. You need to also know how to use some high level of, no, not necessarily high, some medium or low level of automation, because when you're a system administrator, you'll be doing a lot of repetitive tasks. And if you keep on doing them one by one, you find yourself lacking behind. So you need to find a way of how to automate some of these things. And that's where PowerShell scripting comes in, where you can use a script to automate some repetitive tasks. For instance, if you need to create a lot of new users in Active Directory, about 20 or about 30. You don't have to go in and be clicking them one by one and setting them up. You need to know how to write a script that would create them in bulk. So things like that is what we'll be exploring in this course from a practical point of view. You need to know how to create organizational units from a test point of view and apply certain policies to them and see how they behave before you can apply it to the large scale organization. You need to know how to create workstations. So workstations are just basically setting up a PC, setting up a Windows 10 machine or setting up a Windows 11 machine. How it needs to be set up properly, how it needs to be joined to the domain, so that whenever policies are applied, it will be able to reach that device. So you can manage that device. Like for instance, you can change the desktop background, you can make sure that certain applications are installed, a whole lot of other things like that. You need to know how to deploy software to specific computers, workstations that I just talked about. So group policy is an avenue that you can use to push specific softwares to various computers that are within the domain. So as a system administrator, you would have that task to be able to push some softwares to users within the group. You need to know how to do that with GPO. We will be exploring that in this course. You need to learn how to set up Azure AD Sync, which is a bridge between on-premise Active Directory to Office 365 Azure AD. It's a very simple setup. You just need to provision your server and set up the installation, and then make sure that whatever you have in your Active Directory on-prem exactly is right into Azure Active Directory online. So like for instance, when you reset a password on-prem, it writes back to the password that's used on Office 365, and users can use that to maybe sign up for Office 365 services like Word, Outlook, emails, a whole lot of other things that we would explore. You need to learn how to troubleshoot this as well from either Azure Active Directory point of view or on-prem Active Directory point of view using PowerShell. For instance, you want to know when last was the password reset for this user. You can do that by using the PowerShell script that will just tell you when last the person changed their password and a whole lot of other things that you can do. You need to also know how to use GPOs to secure your domain. So when you're able to have this high level of setup, you can set up policies to say, okay, passwords can only be set up maybe once or twice in a month, and they can have this minimum characters. The likes of that is what you'll be looking to know how to do from a system administrator point of view. And you need to know how to provision a network share and share that secure network to other users. So for instance, users within a domain can be able to save files securely to their own preferred location, which can be accessed on any other computer they ever log on to from the network. So we'll be exploring most of these things, and at the end of this lesson, you would become a complete IT system administrator. I'll see you in the next video where we'll start exploring what are some of the things that we need to download and install to begin this journey. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.